What's up, guys? Jar here, back with another video, and in this video I'll be breaking down why your store gets traffic but hardly any sales, right? Or not the sales that you want, at least, right? This is my brand, Angelic, right? This kind of some photo shoots just to show you guys my brand. I don't really show this too much, but yeah, this is my brand, streetwear brand, best streetwear brand out. All right, so basically it's very important that we have to identify first what we're optimizing for, right? So when people look at metrics like conversion rate or even just like a screenshot like this, right? They're like, oh, let's say my conversion rate was a 0.73%, right? And you might think, oh, that's bad, I need to get that up. While on paper that might sound like a good idea, let's really break that down and see why, there's some nuance to that, right? So essentially this is a book called The Goal, right? I recommend everyone to read it. They actually recommend or force all the Amazon management to read this goal. And basically it talks about the theory of constraints and essentially really honing down on what you're optimizing for, right? So really when it comes down to CRO testing or even just overall increasing the conversions on your website, there's some primary metrics to look at, right? So first you have conversion rate. This is the metric that everyone knows and talks about. Then we have AOV, right? Then we have revenue per visitor, right? Then we have profit per visitor, right? So a layer actually deeper than that, right, is contribution margin. And essentially what contribution margin is your net revenue minus your total variable cost. Basically we define net revenue as gross sales minus returns, allowances and discounts. And then your total variable cost are your cost of goods sold, advertising spend, fulfillment, shipping, payment processing fees, etc. Right, so basically what this means, this is essentially your profit before your fixed expenses. That's essentially what that means, right? So your profit versus your profit, right, before your fixed expenses is really what we're optimizing for, right? Because at the end of the day, we want to drive the most amount of profit volume versus actual fictitious arbitrary percentage in conversion rate. And I'll kind of break that down more, right? So the question now is like, how do we drive the highest volume of contribution margin, right? And really what that comes down to is just really optimizing for the right metric on your actual test, right? So for me, I actually optimize around profit per visitor, right? So with conversion rate, right, you can run a test which lowers your conversion rate, but if it boosts your AOV, right, and it boosts your boosts your AOV, then if your AOV outpaces the loss in conversion rate, then your overall profit per visitor is going to be higher. And there's a lot of use cases in which that plays out as well. But basically just optimizing for profit per visitor as the proxy metric for contribution margin, right? And then I'll kind of show you guys some of the recent CRO tests that I literally just ran. Like these are all sequential in order, starting from 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? And these are literally all in order, right? And as you can see here, right, this is just a test, as you can see here. And through this test, right, I boosted overall conversion rate by 18%. And then I boosted revenue per visitor by 54%. Profit per visitor by 43%, and AOV by almost 30%. And then as you can see, that just ultimately makes our meta advertising more efficient because all the visitors landing on this landing page are effectively converting 20% more of the time, and we're boosting our profit per visitor, which is the North Star metric, by 43% compared to the baseline, right? And then for this test, as you can see, more growth, 34% to 45%, 53%, and then 8% lift. This is really what we're looking at, right? And then if you're like a CPG brand, you're optimizing for subscription, what you really want to look at is your subscription take rate, and then backtrack that into your overall, CAC to LTV, and really optimize around your, your longer tail contribution margin versus day one. And then this is my third test in order. Literally, this is all in order. Like, it's kind of rare to hit this many winning tests per se, but even this test, it wasn't a big win, but it still drove 8% lift from the baseline, right? And mind you, these tests take, depending on how much traffic your site is getting, they can take a week, a couple of days, they can take a couple of weeks, but it's very important that we reach statistical significance. And then this is kind of an example of how optimizing for conversion rate can be bad, right? So for this test, right, as you can see here, our actual conversion rate dropped by 6%, right? But our actual profit per visitor jumped up by 18%. So just looking and optimizing around conversion rate, we would actually miss what we're actually need to be optimizing for, which actually has a direct impact on our contribution margin. And that would ultimately have a negative impact and implication towards our overall growth strategy. So it's very important that we actually understand, the true things that we're optimizing for, like explaining the goal, right? And then this is the fourth and final test in recent history that I ran: 22% to 80, or to 18% to 19%. AOV went down slightly, but profit per visitor is overall up. So the question now is, how do I produce these outcomes, right? So really, when it comes to any type of testing within my business, it's very important that I, be methodical about things, right? So I utilize the scientific method for each and every test that I run, whether it be creative testing, whether that be landing page testing, offer testings, even just like making changes in the ad account, things of that nature, like killing ads and things like that, right? Just really having a clear scientific process about things, right? So number one, we just start off with observation, right? So really what that comes down to is just researching, right? So a good research, tool that I use, right, is just using reviews, right? Using that zero-party data from customers, right? And really seeing what pain points and, what overall pros and cons are giving us. So for example, material is great over here. Hoodie is nice. Silk lining in the hood is a nice touch, right? So I can talk about, in my ads, or put some copy on my landing page talking about the silk lining and really pointing that out, right? This person said, overall great, love the rhinestones, great quality. Only thing I wish the sleeves were a bit shorter. Looks super baggy on me. Other than that, it's great. Maybe I could communicate the size chart more effectively. Maybe I can make some tweaks on the product from the manufacturing standpoint. Fits perfectly. I got under mine in a week, like 5 days. Great feel. Talk about more things like this. Great quality, fast shipping. Only problem is the sleeves is mad long. So now we got 2 comments about the sleeves being mad long. So that's definitely something we wish to take care of. Absolutely fire, true to size, 10 to 10 recommend, right? So we can get some quality feedback that fuels our, actual hypothesis, when it comes to testing. And then another lever that we can utilize is post-purchase survey. So this is real high quality zero-party data that we can collect, because these are from actual customers that actually purchase from us, right? So as you can see here, I actually had a question, right? Was there anything that almost stopped you from purchasing? Right, and as you can see, most people said nothing at all, with about 32% of responses. 20% of people say I hesitated on fit or size, right? So then now from there we can, how can we display sizing more effectively, whether that be size charts, size guides, or even having models and model descriptions and model sizing in the description, right, to overall improve conversion rates. Price felt high, right? Now we can look at different offers and different offer testing and how can we communicate the value effectively. I wasn't sure the brand was real, right? Now we can look at how do we increase more social proof and more legitimacy and trust. And then shipping costs or speed was unclear. How can we make that more clear, as you can see here? And then basically I would just cycle through different questions and, just basically see how this overall gets answered throughout different time periods. And then based off that, I'll use that to fuel, my different tests, right? And then another one that we can also utilize is, paid social comments on Instagram or TikTok ads. So this was one from a TikTok ad, actually. $98 for a hoodie is absurd. Y'all an IG brand. Y'all not designer gang, right? Yeah, so this is basically just going back to the value, right? So how can we communicate that we are more luxury, that we're more luxury positioning, right? Because they obviously wouldn't say that for Louis Vuitton, right? If they seen a hoodie from Louis Vuitton that was $98, they would think that's a steal, right? So there's a actual positioning and brand identity mismatch on there. And granted, right, you don't want to look at just the minute, minor consensus. You want to look at the overall broad trends and what the macro customers and macro sentiment is, but it's still important to get in there and see what people are talking about. But basically, yeah, that's really how I come up with that. Just really taking my time on the research side of things, coming up with the hypothesis, and then from there just really experimenting and then reaching statistical significance. So what I like to do is have a test run for at least 7 days, right? And then I like to get at least 300 orders per test group. And then Intelligence actually has their own, statistical significance probability, but I don't really like to use it just because it can be too conclusive, right? Especially in the early stages, right? You really want to make sure that you're having 300 orders per test group. And have it running for at least 7 days. That's my benchmark. And then from there, right, you're just analyzing your winners and analyzing your losers, right? So all of these were winners, right? But I do have some tests that are losers, but I still analyze them, and then I use that learning and that feedback loop, right, to further fuel, my next round of CRO testing and offer testing. But eventually, when you stack all of these wins, right, then you can just ultimately scale more on your ad account, scale more, push budgets, and overall, get higher revenue days. But yeah, that's pretty much basically it. You just want to consistently compound wins. If you guys want more one-on-one help on how to actually implement this for your brand, you can apply in the link down in the description. If you don't know how to do CRO testing or offer testing, or how this even, relates, or how this even works, then you can also just comment down below as well. But until then, I'll see y'all in the next video.